Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and I have come up with the greatest idea for Arena if they want to not just stop dying and losing customers left and right, because every single tracking graph has shown that they are, but to gain a monstrous amount of users. All I had to do was jump in the shower, because duh, that's where the best thoughts come from, and then think, okay, the biggest ongoing persistent hits over like the last 20 years in video games, what have they all done? And the answer is pretty much one thing. But before I jump into it, I've got to say, when I first heard that they're gonna, digitally rebalance cards, take broken cards and weaken them just a little bit instead of just banning them outright, and respond quicker to the format, I'm like, yes, those are like the things I've been telling them to do this entire time, pretty much. I'm on board. Then I saw that they were just upgrading all the tier 1 decks to even worse, so that if you're still playing them and you jump into Alchemy, you have to. It is like mandatory that you buy these upgrades for your deck to keep it running. And then it turns out they were in the arms race selling the arms, the overpowered weapons, to everybody equally. So you thought you were buying your way to become ahead with your deck, but really you're back at a level playing field. So it pretty much was just another cash grab scam, and they didn't do anything about what they said. So big disappointment with Alchemy, total write-off. I don't want to hear about it, and I don't care about it. What should they have done? And I mean, besides rollout Pioneer, like they said they were, is like I said, just look at what other games are doing and copy them. Not just like, oh, I'm going to make another Bejeweled ripoff and call it Candy Crush. No, I mean, here, let's see if you can guess it. If you know anything about gaming, you'll know where I'm going with this. Feel free to play along at home. Well, what's the number one thing that drove StarCraft 1 ever since the late 90s? Well, you may not know the answer. Oh, what's the number one thing that drove Warcraft 3? How about Fortnite, Roblox, especially, Minecraft, don't even get me started, Skyrim? 3 words: user-generated content. Once people are done playing your game, they move on to, what did the users make? A mod, a new area, a new way of playing. Even GTA 5, there's custom racetracks, custom everything, custom gameplay formats with custom rules. I just played an entire new campaign in Skyrim that someone made. It's user-generated content. And yeah, because the users aren't game designers, well, some of them are. Some of it, in fact, most of it's going to be crap, but the people who really know what they're doing and just want to become internet famous and want to make a big, amazing new tug of war map in Warcraft 3 or StarCraft 1 or 2 to play, a custom game on where it blows up and then they become famous on a forum and then they launch it into like a YouTube career. And there are modders that are just like, I don't know, I read a book about game design, then I made a mod and now I have 100k subs. People are motivated. There's like money on the line, let alone Roblox, where there's literally money on the line. I think the creators get like 30, 40, 50% cut or something like that of any revenue made on their Roblox map that they make. And there's some that are worth like multi-million dollars. Like I heard there's one that's like dragon related with dragon eggs and something that's like been one of the longest running ones ever. They've basically created a new game. In fact, I think League of Legends was literally just a mod for, I want to say Warcraft 3, although StarCraft 1. I mean, it's not like we never had lane-based tug of war in StarCraft 1. Come on. PUBG was, I'm going to murder this, an Arma mod? Is that what it was? Arma 2? And that became its own game. Gary's mod? I mean, I could go on. Oh, by the way, if you like Portal 2, somebody just made like a mod / extension to the game of Portal 2 where I think it's bigger than the actual original game. So go check that out. It's like free. So user-generated content. It's like the entire history of gaming. The best things ever made in gaming in general were pretty much made by the users, not the game creators. There's a couple exceptions where people like whoever invented Dance Dance Revolution, my God, did they launch like 20, 30 years of rhythm games. So, okay, that's a breakthrough. That's an innovation. But boy, are there a lot of other examples of the users like beating people to it and going further and doing better. So how does that relate to Arena? Well, it's quite simple. If they took a week or two, they could probably program in, here's my cube, come play it, where you can join like a custom lobby or a room or whatever, where you can play with someone else's cube, because cube building is like that goes way back in the Magic community. I believe cube building, if it was even still called that, predates the invention of Commander / EDH as a format. And at quite a few points it was more popular. People would just build a cube, they would have everybody draft off of it or just blind split it or something crazy. And then you'd play with just their little environment, whatever they thought would be fun. Elves versus vampires. Nothing but spells that cost 4 or more. Call it, my shootout cube, and people would just be like, oh, this is like Magic the Gathering, but it's different. It's like a mod. It's like an extension. It's the same game, but with a different way of playing. And in fact, I mean, I'm kind of describing what Wizards invented, which was plane chase. Plane chase is awesome because you have, like, you're on a plane and then you get a certain modifier card and you have a whole deck of them. And then if you trigger the I'm going to, take the Magic the Gathering battle to a different plane, you both planeswalk there. And then now it's like, oh, well, all of your creatures get this because you're on this plane. Best format ever made. My number one favorite way to play Magic is plane chase. Because they took the normal game and said, well, now try playing it this way. I mean, even like Two-Headed Giant, people love that. That's just, let's try playing Magic, but with this set of rules. And as much as, they really knocked it out of the park with Two-Headed Giant and... You know what? I don't even know that Wizards created that. I know they didn't create Commander/EDH, just saying. That was the community, but you know how hard it is for Wizards to make a new thing that people actually like, especially since they all just turn into greedy cash grabs that we can see right through in 10 seconds? Well, it's an awful lot easier to let 1,000 users all, throw something at the wall and see what sticks and have, the top 10 out of them become the new greatest thing ever that people constantly want to play, and the game's constantly changing and doesn't get repetitive. So bare minimum, they could let people make cubes. But I'm going to go further, okay? Once they roll out the whole custom cube thing, they could have said, now we're going to let the users make cards or tweak existing cards. But if you can just do anything to an existing card and then rename it, you're making a new card. So why don't they have user developed cards where you can make your own set? Okay, because if 1,000 people design their own set or like mini set or a cube containing half their cards in half existing ones, a couple of them are going to catch on, okay? And people are going to be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen and I want to play it forever. And then the next week, there's a new best thing, and people would just be glued to Arena because when you take 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 users that are all like, oh, I'd like to try my hand at this. A lot of them have been playing Magic for a long time and could design something better than Wizards. Now, an enormous amount of them can't. They think they can, but they can't. But like I said, the best of the best floats to the top. If you try something once and it doesn't work great, it's just like, what did I play? Far Cry 5? Haven't bought 6 yet. I've done some of the custom missions made by people, and I'm like, some of these are better than anything they made in the game. Some of them are just acceptable and different because I played through the game 3 times. Just like Skyrim, I got sick of it, but I kept playing it because of mods and new content. I mean, even just the Magic mod that adds in like 150 new spells, I'm like, oh my god, I want to play through this immediately. And I put way too many hours back into Skyrim because of it. But you know what? Now I can summon tornadoes into people's faces. So I'm sure there was probably 100 people attempting to make a spell mod, but the best of the best is that one that everybody's heard of. I forgot the name. And that was driving people to want to play the game more and to purchase it and to keep it relevant and all these things that are very, very positive for Arena. So why don't they let user-generated content in cubes and let the users create the cards? Now, I know the obvious answer you technical folks are going to say is, because how the hell would you get the game engine to recognize it? Well, you'd have to just let them, start with, power, toughness, casting cost, alternate casting costs, and mechanics and keywords that are already in the game. Beyond that, I mean, they've basically made a universal interpreter that just reads cards and does the card thing, and then anything new, like a brand new mechanic, then they have to program that into the game. And they could copy an awful lot of logic from MTGO because it's already written. I mean, like 99% of cards work on MTGO currently. And they do have like a flow where they just follow the rules of the game, then read the card like you do. They don't need to say, oh, this works differently, so we have to do this. Now, Companion, yeah, okay, you got to reprogram the game's rules. But anything else, like Threshold, they could put that into the game in like a day because the code already exists for it. Is that you just, check the graveyard count, and then if this, then this, and if this, then this. It's just basic coding. So if they let you just run wild with the tools they already have, yeah, you could get pretty creative with that. I even kind of messed around with a user-generated content idea, I think about 2 years ago on my channel when I said, why don't they have a sub-format called, like, Community Uprising or something equally stupid but not quite as in your face. And it would be, okay, the community on a weekly basis, for like every time they play 3 games in a week, they get a voting token tied to their, official Magic account, obviously, so it would be almost impossible to cheat this. And as soon as you prove you've vaguely kind of played it this week, you can vote for 3 cards you want gone. And then out of everybody, the top 3 from everybody who voted, those get banned for the week. And they can play around with the numbers. I think we need more than 3 gone. But if the users don't want to, overwhelmingly as a whole, with voting and with majority rules, if overwhelmingly people don't want to play against Mill, then Mill's gone. So if 10% of people want to play Mill and 90% of people do not want to play against Mill, the majority should rule because If the majority stays around and a minority leaves, you make more money than if the inverse happened. It's pretty darn simple. I mean, there's even people on Arena, I'm one of them, who occasionally is like, I have to play this archetype because nothing else works and nothing else is competitive in the meta. I'm not going to log on to get 10 losses in a row, get nothing per day, and then leave. That's a complete waste of my time. If I want to have some vague chance of winning, I'm gonna have to play this card, this archetype, or this general strategy. And so I'm pigeonholed into it because I reluctantly have to play it, but I'm not happy about it. So if you're looking back at people playing like Energy, Aetherworks, Marvel, free casting, Emrakul crap, or like 3-color Ugin garbage after Fate Reforged, or like Jeskai Ascendancy trash. Nobody wanted to play that, but they wanted to win some of the time, and those decks couldn't be beaten. Just like Cat, you were playing Red Rush, or you were playing Scarab God, or you're playing, White Life Gain, and if you're playing anything else, you would lose. Like 80% of the time. It was that much of a complete disaster. So if it looks like, no, the majority of people are okay with playing these cards, no, they're reluctantly playing it so that they have any chance of winning, and everybody's pissed. The people playing against it are mad. The people playing with it are mad. The people who invented the deck probably are ashamed of themselves. They've got like the Oppenheimer syndrome. What have I unleashed upon the world? I'm a terrible person. Like me with my Gravity Bomb deck. Oh my god, I think 100 of you said you took it to F&M and just crushed everybody and they were pissed. It's like a $14 deck. That was so funny. But I mean, just in general, if you think that random people on the internet, either collectively or individually, can typically manage the game better than Wizards themselves, yes, we have proven that as a community many, many, many times. Remember when people call stuff out like, hey, that's an infinite combo. Hey, that's going to be broken degenerate crap. Hey, they shouldn't have done that. Like, during pre-release spoilers. Like, the set hasn't even come out and people built the deck in their head, already went to F&M with it mentally, ran simulations, and within like 60 seconds were like, well, that's going to be a problem. And then like 6 months later, Wizards is like, so it turns out this was a problem. Anything user generated, like I said, 95% of people aren't going to know what the hell they're doing, despite them thinking they know what they're doing. But the top 5% are going to rise to the top. You get like a good lobby voting system or a server voting system. You've basically got Roblox, or you've got like a list of heavily modded games, or, you know, whatever roleplay thing or racing thing is hot on GTA. Whatever customized Minecraft server is hot right now, that's going to show up high in the list on, you know, wherever. And I think that would work for Arena. So what do you guys think? Should Arena roll out user-generated content? Because just think about it. How many different ways are there to play Magic right now, and how many of them are actually liked by the people? And let me ask you another question. What's the #1 format played by Magic players right now? Anything goes casual kitchen table / we vaguely made our own rules and policies. So that ropes in all of casual kitchen table, who cares, anything goes, and all of Commander, which is self-policed. Last time I heard from Wizards, they outnumber the serious players and the F&M attendees and the pre-release event attendees either 10 to 1 or like upwards of 20 to 1. So if there's 1 million people that actively play at F&M, there's like 10 to 20 million that play casual that you never hear from. And they just play their own way because they don't care about Wizards' mismanagement of the formats. They make their own formats, they make their own cubes, and they make their own rules. So guys, it already works in paper. Why don't they roll this out and just let us solve it ourselves with like natural selection, basically is what it is. May the best cube win. May the best modified cards win. May the best stupid crazy meme formats that they never would have thought up in a million years win. Hell, we could even just make our own custom drafts with our own custom packs or pack mixes. I mean, I bet they could get 5 times the users, maybe 10 times the users, if they would just roll this out and people started hearing about it. They're like, there's this crazy new thing. It's online only. It's on Arena. Go play it. Oh, somebody did this like all angels thing and it's a shootout and it's hilarious. Oh, people did like an all wall deck, but then like they called it pole vaulter format. And you've got like a couple people that can gain flying and get over the walls, but then the walls after 10 turns like come alive and attack you because they tweaked all the cards to say they dropped defender after 10 turns. What if we just made NR5 or NR10, no rush 5, no rush 10 minutes, like on StarCraft? Some of those were custom maps and they were enforced. A wall would drop. What if you start the game, except you get an emblem that says all creatures have defender and cannot lose it until turn 5, and then the emblem deletes itself? I would play that. This could make them like $1 billion. Wizards, seriously, I don't even care. Just steal my idea. Okay, first of all, it's not new. Secondly, I didn't patent it. And third, just do it. My God, I want to play something other than the pile of shit that you have on Arena right now. Thanks. They have to roll this out eventually. I know it'd be a lot of coding and be kind of high effort, but the amount of effort they put into Jumpstart Historic, ugh. Yeah, they've got some free hours to do something better than that. Come on, and this alchemy crap, get rid of it. So that's all I gotta say about that. If you want to play a good game that's actually managed correctly, where you can literally talk to the one sole person in charge of making changes and just be like, I like this, I don't like this, participate in free tournaments and earn like 20 free packs a day just by playing it, go check out enterthedomains.com. Link in the description. Not sponsored, although formerly sponsored. Also, he doesn't know this is coming, and it's gonna be hilarious if you all show up to his game in his Discord server and just start playing it. Which actually, lately I heard it's popping off. They have like daily tournaments and stuff. Like they got a big community that's blowing up because everybody's leaving Arena. So with that said, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.